I'm working on it.
Everybody, please include in your prayers for successful surgery today, if you would, and if you mind lead us off.
Lead us in a short prayer. Heavenly Father, as we gather today to serve our community, we give thanks to you for all our many blessings. Please help guide us to make decisions that continue to support the safety and prosperity of our beloved county today. And during this time of preparing for the birth of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, may we all share in the spirit of giving to those in most need. We also ask for your healing embrace for our dear friend Ruth Beard as she undergoes surgery today. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lisa, Joel. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
All right, Sheriff, you're up first.
Okay, good morning, council. Auditor.
Morning, Sheriff.
I have before you a request for a transfer from the tech salary line to the overtime line. There is funding, if you're looking in both of the current overtime lines, 22 and 35. There is funding, it appears additional in one of those lines, but when council last year went to 22 and 35, I'm looking at you, Ann, just a little bit, we just put numbers in those where we thought we would be because it was a new split that you had done. So we tried to figure it out, but we're a little off. That's why we need to transfer. I can't transfer from one overtime line to the other. I can't go from 22 to 35, but I can go from the salary line to the, so that's what we're doing.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Hope that helps.
We hope to not have this issue next year because we're
Right.
going to have some new tax.
Yes. Yes, fingers crossed. That'll be wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful.
That's super helpful.
Yeah. All right. Questions for the sheriff?
Make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Good. Any further comments? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6.
Thank you.
You. Mr. McCartney. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Aaron.
So we are in front of you today about the Title IV grant deal. This is something that gives the county additional reimbursement and is based on that reimbursement request that is submitted quarterly. It's a renewal, there's no funds that are needed up front, and it is a reimbursement, just like the other funds are.
That's my understanding. This is something we've been doing year over year.
Yeah, as long as we've been able to, yes.
Can be used across categories too. Personnel supplies.
Yes, as long as it goes to public defense.
Questions?
How's our numbers? Good still?
Okay, I just got the numbers, all of them for November. So now I gotta calculate everything, but we were close on a few last month, but we're doing okay. We're still in compliance.
Good. Yeah, good.
Those numbers, the percentage numbers are going to start working themselves in a better way because we're allowed to assign staff to current attorneys. That allows the case counts to be higher numbers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a problem going forward.
Good. How's your space?
Perfect. It's ideal. It's a perfect location. I can't say enough how much we appreciate having that opportunity.
So can I come see you?
Absolutely. All of you are more than welcome to come visit us.
Okay, awesome.
That's good news. And this is a 2-year, they've committed to doing this program for 2 more years. It's Title IV.
The Title IV.
Yeah.
That's what it says. I know, I think it was annually previously. But yes, this one is through December of 2027.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Accept the motion. I'll make that. Okay.
A second.
Lisa? Any other comments? Those in favor, raise your right hand. 6. Thank you, boy.
All right, thank you.
Hi, okay here. So I have a couple of items up for discussion with you. I guess it's one, it's just kind of broken up into two. There's a new ordinance in front of you. It did go in front of the commissioners and they did approve this 3.0. It is a change to the personnel policy handbook with regards to 2 different policies. I'm going to talk about the easiest one first. So the one that has to do with educational activity leave for anybody's children, that is actually Senate Bill 409. It is in place right now. It was actually in effect July 1st, and then it expires July 1st of 2029. This offers employees 1 day a year for its protected leave, for if they have any sort of conferences related to truancy for their children, or if they have conferences for an individualized and education plan, an IEP for their children. So it's just one day per year for that. I've been involved with IEP meetings before, and those typically don't take all day, so like hours per hour. So
Is it interesting that will IDPs also cover 504 meetings?
I would say so. This is not something that we really have a problem with, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. It just,
Yeah.
when you break it down and you put it in writing.
Yeah, and I've been involved with the 504, and then, moved into the IEP. So to me, I kind of feel like it's together. But it's one of those things, and this kind of ties in with the other portion of this policy, with the flexible work schedule. If somebody knows that they have a meeting or whatever, they can go, if they have comp time, or if they want to use their lunch hour. And that's kind of what I did for mine, because I knew they weren't going to last over an hour. This is just something that's in law, and it's best to put it in the policy handbook, and it's been chattered about in our HR group as well. Okay, so that's portion number 2 of the policy. So portion number 1, this has to do with exempt employees. Those higher paid professionals, typically department heads, chief deputies, that are exempt from comp time and exempt from overtime payments. So it's basically, you do your job, however long it takes you to do it in order to get the job done. We do have a flexible work schedule, okay? So typically flex time, say if somebody works 2 hours over, so instead of 7.5 hours, they work 9.5, maybe later that week they leave 2 hours early. Like that's kind of the flex schedule sort of thing. Right now, flex time is supposed to be used within the same pay period in which it's earned. So then it just kind of washes out on their time card, because they show how many hours they worked. So if they worked 9.5 hours and they worked only 5.5 hours, then another day of that pay period, everything shows if they're at their weekly or bi-weekly hours or over, okay? The issue that we have ran into is there's some departments, and I'm gonna pick on the highway department because we all are experiencing that today. Sometimes, say the superintendent has to fill in for somebody, has to put a lot of extra hours in plowing snow. If there's a major snow event, sometimes those flex hours are not able to be used within that same pay period. Essentially, those hours would be gone, but there have been special exceptions where they have been able to use those in the future. When they do that, it shows that they're working less than their normal hours in a pay period. If state board would pull that time card, we're going to get dinged for it, because we do not have a policy in place allowing our exempt employees to use their flex time at a different period in time other than that same pay period. Another issue is potential ghost employment. we don't want to run into a situation where, say, there's employees that are working and they're banking this flex time, which you're not technically supposed to do, but they're documenting their time worked, say on a Wednesday, they only worked 5.5 hours, but they're putting on their 7.5 because they have flex time. That's ghost employment. You can't do that. So this explains everything, puts it online for everybody that is an exempt employee, and has everybody on the same page. I get questions about how we use flex time all the time. And I tell them, try to use it within the same pay period in which it's earned, because then it all washes. But I can tell you, I know that's not always done.
To me, these exempt positions are basically like salary positions. So combining flex and salary positions, which is we just do whatever we have to do our job, seems a little crazy in the first place. Right? I mean, and I'm hoping that it's all documented. I'm glad that there's a path of documentation that allows people that, if they're exempt, allows people an avenue to cut out early for a kid's event or something like that and make it up in another way. I'm just concerned about the way we're doing it now. So I understand the need for change, but I think a strong way of communicating how it has to be going forward is going to be necessary, because we're really at risk if we're not getting this tightened up.
Yeah, and I know like a long time ago, several years ago, all of those exempt employees and department heads, they were always told, no matter how many hours you work, always put your 7.5 hours. Well, that's not right. You need to document the exact time worked on your time sheet. And so we got them in line for doing that. Well, then there were some that were working a lot of extra, which sometimes that happens. Each department has their busy times. Sometimes it happens. So they were like, well, why can't we use this time else, a different time of the year? Well, because you are exempt. This is flex time. Flex time is not banked. It's not supposed to be tracked unless you have a policy stating otherwise, which is what this excess benefit time policy is. There are other counties that do have policies like this in place to try to get everybody in line. There's also specifics in here stating that they have to work in excess 2 hours over their normal work week. So you have 40-hour employees and 37.5-hour employees. So those 40-hour employees will have to actually work 42 hours before they can start banking flex if this is approved. Those 37.5-hour employees will have to work 39.5 hours in order to start banking the flex. And then they can only accrue a maximum of 20 hours at a given time. And the reasoning this is called flex and not comp is because comp is 40 hours. Comp is also rolled over from year to year, and legally you have to pay it out if somebody leaves employment. This flex time, 20 hours max comp does not roll over from year to year. You must be used within the year that it is earned, and it is not paid out if somebody leaves employment. It is also earned on an hour per hour basis, not at time and a half if somebody reaches over that 40-hour threshold.
So the flex time would be going away, and because this would just be called excess benefit.
Excess benefit. I mean, we all know it's flex, but it's the excess benefit time. Now, the flexible work schedule policy, in my opinion, still needs to stay in full force and effect, because we have those non-exempt people that do use that. Instead of taking their lunch hour at a normal time, they sometimes will take it at the very beginning of the day, or they may have to take it at the very end of the day due to appointments or things like that. So having that flexible schedule, alleviates some difficulties and allows the departments to do what they need to do.
It reminds me a lot of what I do with my own employees about that flex, because I tried to do that. I don't want them to ever miss anything. The only thing about it that gave me pause was that you're allowing it to happen in weeks where there's paid holidays and vacation. That would be the only change that would be my suggestion. Is the rest of the time, absolutely. But I don't think it should be coupled inside of a work period with vacation or paid holidays.
Okay, and the only reason why it was included that way is because in the policy, when it comes to overtime calculations, vacation and holidays are counted as hours worked towards overtime calculations. So it was done to stay in line with the rest of the policies that we have in place.
So we pay overtime on an employee that had taken vacation days and then came back.
Because it is considered as time worked for overtime calculation purposes if that employee then worked additional hours.
Is that just us or is that a law?
I don't think it's necessarily law, it's just, it's always done that, and I don't like saying that, it's always been that way, but we are not the only county that does it that way. There are some that, just like everything else, that do it differently.
I just didn't know if it had to do with number of, because I've had that exact conversation with
Yeah.
my own accountant about payroll, because I do my own payroll.
Yeah, but if
And
somebody
don't-
takes like sick time, or if they use comp time, those hours are not counted as hours worked for overtime calculation purposes.
Wow, I can't believe we give overtime on.
But that's only with those employees that actually work overtime, which you have your public safety and then new corrections. Yeah. And hires.
Yes.
You guys have to work the holiday in order to be paid the holiday.
Yeah, and kind of the other side of that coin is when someone works overtime in the same pay period that they take a sick day, that overtime pay is removed.
Because sick time
The,
is.
the hours that you were sick, if you took 8 hours of sick time and you had 8 hours of overtime pay, time and a half, that would be reduced to straight pay because you took a sick day. So it's, I mean, it is roses on one side, I see what you're saying, but there is also a give on the other. Yeah. That's been a great conversation though. People always say, I worked overtime. I was actually working, but then you took a sick day. You know, it's-
Yes, no, mine is very simple. I just don't give on that vacation. I don't give on, and you can't back it up. Can't plan your vacation back up to a holiday. Just little things inside of a business. Yeah.
Not my office, you're not allowed to.
So how, like you said, with salary, you know, you're expected to just do your job no matter how many hours a week, whatever you have to put in, that's your job and that's what the pay is, straight up. So are we padding that with you're expected to only work an extra whatever hours and then you get extra time? Or is it just a straight 40-hour? Because I don't see that that's really, like, I know Kelly puts a lot more time than 40 hours a week. So what?
But I'm not included in that. No
And
elected
officials are
officials.
excluded.
Like,
No elected, okay, so
Yeah.
just,
so Anne would be included in that because she's an SO, she's a chief deputy. Aaron would be included in that. I'm just speaking of my
Sure.
office, would be included in that. Those are the only two in my office that would fall into that category.
So my concern with calling things salary is that, and I had this argument from somebody a couple weeks ago. Well, if you're telling me I'm salary and I get my job done in 30 hours in a work week, then why the heck do I have to come back? You know, and work those normal hours. Like, well, we're state board and how, you know, we have to answer to that. And if you're not showing that you're working your normal hours, we're gonna have a problem.
It's part of the restrictions of your employment. It's a contract.
So, I mean, calling it salary, I get it in the private sector. You know, salary, you know, you only work 30 hours and sometimes you work 60 hours in a week. I mean, it's gonna fluctuate.
There's the seasonality nature to the different departments too. And so I can see this giving every one of these positions an extra half week's pay up here. Because they're gonna justify how they put the extra time in when they did put it in. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily, I mean, they get paid no matter what. I mean, they get paid the same no matter what, essentially. I mean, they're just able to take the time off for the extra time that they worked.
So there's no change in.
No
the amount of
change
money
in
they're
pay.
Oh, they don't get
There's no
paid.
change.
No, they don't get paid. This is just excess benefit time that, if they worked 5 hours over in a work week and in that pay period, they weren't able to use that, then they get to save some of that, as long as it goes over the 2 hours, that extra, and then everything in addition to that, they get to save
Okay.
later.
You're just allowing them
They
to
can
take the
use
time
it
off.
just as time off. They're
Right.
not making more
They're
money.
not
I
making
think a lot of it
Based
is
on the
rating
42
increases.
hour.
Oh,
You put in an extra,
You're gonna take that time off somewhere else.
No monetary.
Yeah.
So in your situation of like, you guys, the highway department, yeah, if they're crazy right now, next month, when there's no snowstorms, they can take a couple extra hours off.
Yes, but keep in mind, this excess benefit time has to be used within the year that it's earned, and if it's not, it's gone. So January 1st, they start over.
And it's not the guys driving truck. This is
No,
the
I'm
superintendent
just-
and the engineer. on
Yes.
this. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we were being
Yes.
clear in when we were talking about the highway.
And so this is, and I've talked to Tracy in payroll, she said it'd be very easy to track as well, because she already tracks all of the vacation, sick, and personal in payroll. So everything that's reported on those time cards, she would know that, oh, this person, is earned some additional excess benefit time. So then it'd be notated as such for use at a later point in time. And then as long as we have this policy and say somebody did take 10 hours off in a pay period, and it showed that they have less than their normal hours in that pay period, and state board happens to pull that time card and starts asking questions, we say, well, we have this policy in place, which allows them to do that.
Gotcha. Kind of like you can't bank overtime. You can't say, well, I want to save that for the weeks that I don't get 40 hours, so I have full week's pay.
So they're still getting paid their normal salary, their normal amount. It's just, this allows them to use the time off at a later point in time.
Where'd you pull the language for this from?
It was molded from, I think it was White County, tweaked a little bit, of course.
Well, I don't know if anybody else has any other comments, it takes me back to my first comment, and how this is communicated to these specific positions about how they must do things going forward. My concern is we just stay out of trouble with State Board of Accounts, so.
Yeah, and, I've had multiple conversations with multiple department heads, about this. After I presented this to the commissioners, I had one say, well, that makes it clear. Because there has been confusion about this, and when can they use it, when can they not use it, when is it gone, and when are these special exceptions, offered, which I don't like special exceptions.
Yeah, I think people are still living in the COVID mentality.
Mhm.
Where we allowed special exceptions for everything.
And if we have this in policy, it's like, this is how this works. Sorry, no, you don't get to bank 40 hours of excess benefit time, the maximum is 20, I'm sorry.
I can put a letter in there from the auditor's office also to go with this, to get it pushed out.
So if you need your
Yeah,
office and
everybody.
commissioners in there, and you can
Yep.
work something up there.
Definitely.
Like I said, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I know that's how but my only problem with this is the vacation and the holidays, because you always work more when you come back from vacation or you come back from holidays, because you are catching up. And if you're allowing that to be counted in as that excess time, you're always gonna have it around it. It's gonna be the easiest time for it to happen, and then I just don't think that is the time that you should earn it, is with vacation and holiday.
I mean,
Is my
some
only-
of us that work on vacation, but true.
I do. I don't.
Certain things they
You
don't
just
stop,
do.
you gotta keep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when we get the most work done. What are you talking about? Coming here.
Really tired in here on all day.
2 hours of morning before everybody else gets there. I haven't made your work yet.
Okay. Everybody clear on what's being presented in ordinance 1061? Take care to make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
You're approving ordinance
Approving.
number.
Approving ordinance 1061
As presented.
as presented.
I'll second it.
Eric and Renee. This is including the child activity leave.
Sad they had to make that a law.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Favor, raise your right hand. 5 and 1.
Does this have to be effective by?
In discussions with commissioners, I think they said it'd be great if it could be in effect by January 1st. But, you know, that they, we need 3 readings, so.
That is a really important matter here. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of rushing that.
Okay. The next council meeting then, well. Thank you.
Thanks for your work on that, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later. Sure. All right, surveyor's office. How are you?
All right, how are you?
Good.
Right, it's not gonna be quite so complicated. Basically, housekeeping, with the book. What I have here is a really old reconstruction that was taken out in 2009. And it has never fully been able to collect all the funds to repay it back. Usually reconstructions are payable over a 5-year term. However, at this time, 2008, 2009 till 2013, the drainage board was having to take out substantial loans in order to pay for maintenance work and reconstructions. This is a result of all the interest that was due from several loans. So it's never actually collected as much as to pay off the full thing. So it's been sitting out there since it should have been paid off in 2014, I think was the full payment time after the 5 years. And it's still sitting there with the $3,027.38 after I've collected everything from DeKalb County because it is a joint drain and Steuben as well. So it's been a negative balance. So I would like to take money from the Frank Nelson Maintenance Fund and zero out the Frank Nelson Reconstruction Fund.
Any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Comments? Those in favor, raise your right hand. Fixed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you as well.
Is it true those shoes feel like walking on clouds?
Yes,
Okay, brother.
they're the most comfortable shoes I've ever had.
Okay, I just started researching them. I'm trying to become a
They're
runner.
a little on the expensive side, but they're well worth it. And the foot surgeon recommended them. So if you have any kind of foot problem, they're amazing.
I got a pair of shoes, they're off.
Oh, they are. Yeah. They're well worth it.
Mr. Porter, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How are you, sir?
Good.
You look like you're not up long, so today.
Nice.
Hey, boy.
All right, I got a request to go after a grant. We're working with Indiana Northeastern Railroad for potential closure of Ozark Street at crossing there in Pleasant Lake. State has a grant rail project where if you show that you have went through the process and you properly closing, they reimburse the municipality up to they reimburse $20,000. We're working with the railroad on that. That's why I'm here to request that I can go after that grant.
Chip, what would your cost typically be to do that road closure?
Really depends on construction costs. There's some pavement removal and then there's some restoration, but most of it's in guardrail. So
Okay.
what's the price of guardrail today? And what's the price of guardrail when we do the project? Can't tell you, it's steel, so that varies daily right now.
So that end on West Street, how far over is that? Ozark becomes West Street, it's 500 south, is that the whole thing then?
I'm sorry, you have to pull up a map so I can make.
No, I got it
That's what
right
he's
here.
looking at.
Yeah.
You wanna come
I'm
on?
sure I'm answering you in the right direction and everything. There's 3 crossings right there in a row. Number one thing to look at is fire emergency response capabilities, and there's no delayed response. It's like a 250 feet maximum to the next next crossing, and there's 2 crossings, one north of it, one south of it.
We're into the commissioners already
And no, I had to come to you guys first because it's scheduled.
because of the grant and the schedule, okay. So if we approve this today, commissioners still have to approve it.
Yes, it'll be on the agenda for the 22nd.
They're the authority over us on the road, so I don't want to step on their toes, you know?
Assuming they're gonna say yes because they approved us having a public hearing.
Okay.
Does the reimbursement all come back to the county or do we split it with the highway? I mean, with the railroad?
Right now, the intent is that the railroad's gonna incur 100% of the costs and then potentially reimburse them up to the $20,000. Because we're not gonna spend any money.
Oh, well, that's a nice part of it that you left out.
So we're not spending, they can't apply for the grant. They're gonna do all the work. If we decide to make the closure, they're gonna incur 100% of the costs. And then we can take all that information, apply to the state, or turn that into the state, and then the state would reimburse us $20,000. Commissioners approve of it, we can reimburse Indiana Railroad for costs incurred up to $20,000.
I like teamwork. I think that's awesome. Is this close to where their station is down there?
Yes, right at the.
Right there where we get on, where we pull? Yeah, okay.
I was just there Saturday and I saw Ozark Street, but I didn't see how far it went. I didn't know how tight into west, so that was my question, like how far are they taking that closure?
Right there at the crossing.
Okay.
You entertain it.
Yes, I would.
I make a motion to approve the grant approval for the closure of Ozark Street.
Christina,
Second that.
Eric? Comments?
Way to be a team player.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Got 6. All right, sir, thank you.
Merry Christmas. Happy with where the commissioners are. I'm just sad they're not here. I was looking forward to our chat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna call a recess before we jump into other business because we have Commissioner Howard on the agenda and a meeting came up for him to attend. And I think he might not be the only commissioner there right now. And it's just a project year end, or we can call it year starting, get him on in January update just to talk about. I think it's good for council to hear an overview of, you know, their big things that we got accomplished as a county last year, but looking forward, things that might be costing us money, things that they want to tackle. You know, a lot of people are saying, what are we doing with the courthouse? Anything going to happen in 26? We don't know. Whatever, it gives us a chance to kind of ask them questions, get a feel for where they're going to be that might not be clearly defined within their budget. for next year. So hopefully, that'll work out in the January meeting. So we're gonna take that off of today's agenda. Adjourn for 10 minutes here and come back into other business if that's okay.
There we go.
Okay,
Okay, I'm on yes.
everybody ready? Okay, so we have another business signing the August minutes.
Yeah, those last month.
Yep.
You guys want to sign everything at once? It's up to you, or I pass them down.
Okay, so we have, let's get the.
Coming your way for you. August meeting minutes that you approved last month.
That comes your way, then we have minutes were completed for September, October, and November's meeting. We received November's last night. I don't know if everyone had to review them. So I will leave that. Well, tell me if you didn't review them. Anybody not get a look at November's minutes that came last night?
Scanned them.
I skimmed it.
I did too. I will just wait to accept a motion for whichever ones you guys are comfortable trying to motion on.
I am on October. Kelly, did you get my email this morning?
I have not checked my emails yet today.
Okay, I sent it. I did it last time. I sent it this morning. There
Which
was, October 14th, under the highway department, library.
I will be.
It's on page 5 that you emailed me. I don't know if I have the same.
Bullet point 3, county council asked if it would be easier to rescind the previous motions.
It just said county council wanted didn't have my name method.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You.
No, I will put that in there.
There's-
My bad. I will tell you, October was awful to type. It was awful. It's back and forth a lot. And were you like?
I was on Zoom.
Zoom,
It was
yeah.
very hard to communicate.
Okay,
You want a motion for September and October then?
or you could make it November, we can see if it, unless,
I'd make a motion to do all three of them so we can get to end of the year.
okay.
Second that.
I thought the minutes looked pretty corrected for what I read.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there, but
Yeah.
I did get through November's in detail and I was very comfortable.
You said Bill and Eric.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions on those? Okay, raise your right hand. Yes, six.
6. So we see say 7 because it's just.
I know.
So you got your November financial statement, there's the reports. Anybody have any questions on those?
Fine. Yep.
Stop getting those printed out. I review them online, but I don't print them out
Yeah.
myself to bring along.
Yes, you can. I know.
Please.
I was doing them before and I just,
I did them for a while. It's very nice.
yeah. I will go through, you guys want them in your mailbox?
Please.
Okay, motion on those?
I will make a motion that we receive. You need it, right?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, in favor, raise your right hand. 6.
Can I ask a question? What is the monument maintenance restoration? Is that the courthouse?
No, it's the
The
Circle
the
monument.
monument, the county?
Ever Restoration Fund.
Okay.
Weird that it's ours,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
and that it's not the city's.
I think it's probably a joint effort. They probably have
makes sense.
We're just being good neighbors. We're just.
You know, when, there was a truck that damaged it, then we, turned it into insurance. It was a little back and forth on how much they were gonna give us for it. I think all the money that we did get went into that, didn't it? Yeah. So anything we got back for that, what happened when they did that restoration?
Well, that semi.
Mhm. Okay, that was.
All right, and for salary ordinance amendment 1056. We did not have unanimous consent on that the last time, so we've done a reading each month, and today is the third final reading for the highway on-call compensation. So I look for a motion for third reading.
I will make a motion for the salary ordinance amendment number 1056. Final reading.
Lisa and Bill? Any further comments or questions? None, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Five.
I didn't look up who was against. Yeah,
Same as what's been on the other
some of
side.
the other ones.
Oh, you just looked right at me, Helen.
Not this time, this thing.
Next, we have approval of the 2026 salary ordinance 1059 with amendments. So, Kelly can explain.
That's a whole package, so keep that one put together by itself, please. That is,
Still signing.
no, I don't have one of those on there. So you were a nay all the way through, right? I can put that on there. You don't have to sign it then, if you were a no. Pass it down and make a note on it.
So the amendments, I think, are surrounding the surveyors. The surveyor not being certified, the whole clause was taken out of the salary ordinance and it should have been left back in there. And included with that is the piece of the corner compensation that even though the commissioners first voted no on it, but it came back around. They voted yes. By 2-1 vote. So all that would need corrected and amended on the salary ordinance. Is there anything else in this one?
Nope, that's it.
And that's
in
it,
there
I'm
now.
certified, right? We're still paying.
No.
All done.
Right, so the language is still the same in there about what happens if he becomes certified, but he's not. And so it's correct the way it's worded, knowing that he's not, but it also allows for that to change if he were to be.
But that was kind of part of the piece when it came to the money too, right? Is that we are expending money because he isn't certified.
Yes. That's correct.
I just wanted to make sure I understand, if I remembered correctly.
Yeah, they hired an outside consultant or an outside company certified to sign off on everything. But the compensation for the other was re-voted on at the last commissioners meeting, and like Dan said, it was a 2-1 vote. Now, that is an executive call. So that all has to stay in there also.
We don't get to vote on that.
Mhm.
If it's compensation, why don't we get a say?
It's in the Indiana, it's written in the Indiana code that way. I can't answer that for you, Christina.
You sent that to me, I see it.
You know, I just heard about this one.
Yeah, you want, go to the Indiana code,
Yeah, what's the number?
36-2. -12-15. It's under compensation, and when you get under, it's section 15C. In addition to the compensation fixed under subsection B, unless you want to read it, Dan, right there.
If the surveyor describes and certifies the number of miles of active regulated drains in the county to the county executive, he is entitled, with the approval of the county executive, to $2 per mile described. So my memory, which isn't always the best, tells me when we voted on this before, it used to say may, not shall be paid.
It was a very
And
distinct.
that's what left us the option, and this language looks different now. It says he is entitled. So how do you interpret entitled?
And how does he certify if he can't certify?
Yeah.
That'd be my question.
He's third party. So that was my thing, is we're paying somebody else to do it. He's getting paid.
And then he still gets paid.
There's a certification on there. I need that back because that's all my original, but there's a certification on there that Don Stuckey, the attorney, typed up and signed. Now, keep going. It's first. Keep going. There you go.
But I mean, I could certify that anything I want and sign my name to it. And as long as I believe it, then I guess I'm not perjuring myself. But he's not certifying.
He's getting certified for the county.
Double dip.
It's a, how you want to interpret it. It's there.
And I just don't understand with the balance between executive, between the commissioners and the council, how, I mean, isn't this why several other counties where they're suing each other is because when it comes to dollars, it's supposed to come from council, not from commissioners?
I don't want to comment to that.
I mean, we're very blessed, we're teammates,
Yeah.
but isn't that the way it's
I think
designed, is a
I think
balance?
this is a push on us.
I think I'm gonna use myself as a new AIC person.
Like I said, this just came back around to the county commissioners.
What, if I wanted to go and look at the meeting notes, what meeting was it discussed at, the last one?
The last one.
Thank you.
And you all should have received a copy of Exhibit A, which lists, this is what we didn't have.
Our motion to approve this ordinance last month was upon receipt of Exhibit A, which we didn't have in front of us.
I didn't email it out prior, so, but like Dan said, it was quite a while ago when I sent that to you guys. I did double check this morning, and that last change with the surveyor date on Exhibit A.
Email that we got on this surveyor's compensation first of the month.
I'm having serious issues with my county union.
Right?
I got a new phone, I got some new stuff, so I can't seem to get past the duo unless I'm on my computer at work. I seem to get a lot more.
Call Nikki, because I got a new phone and she helped me send it out.
I just need to do it.
Want me to, for a while, duplicate county and work? I mean, I can send it to if you want me to, until you can get it worked out. Yep.
Please, that'd be fabulous. I was emailing for my work anyways.
And on November 20th was the email from Calvin and Aaron regarding this. The non-certified surveyor salary language being stated on there. And so that included, which I think was right after the meeting. Anyway, we have it now, so. Anyway, does anybody care to make a motion to approve ordinance 1059, 2026 ordinance 1059 with amendments? If I just go on that screen.
I'll make the motion to approve it with the amendments.
I'll second it.
You know, so I hate to say it, but I feel like we need to go ahead and get this, because we're in December, handled up, but I think that this is something that we can continue the discussion with our commissioners on if we feel the need to. I don't know what can be done about it for 2026, not at this point, but I'm just not really happy with you guys did it.
That was my thought.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
One,
5-1.
I have to have a final reading in it. Because this has to be, I can't change anything. For any
I
elected official.
understand the circumstance here. Okay. Accept a motion for suspension of the rules.
This was second reading.
I'll move that we suspend the rules. Do this at the third reading then?
This is just a suspension of the rules.
Okay, suspension of the rules.
I'll second that.
Bill? And Bill? All those in favor of suspending the rules? 4, 2, okay. Christina. Okay, a motion for second, third reading. Yes. Not a situation we created.
I'll make a motion that we do the second reading.
Second and third together.
Yes, second and third readings together.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Bill?
Thank you, Bill. That makes my copy and paste really easy.
Okay. All those in favor of second, third reading, raise your right hand.
No, how many do I have? I have 3.
Yeah, we got me, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
now I just- I'm counting everybody else.
Okay, my bad.
So same 4-2, right?
Yes. I'm like, no, don't give me a try.
All right,
Stand it.
carries. Okay, next in your packet, you have your annual resolution. It's 12-25-02 for rainy day transfer of funds. That and the item 6 and 7, the intra-fund transfers by auditor, which is 12-2025-03. Both standard end of year authorities that we grant the auditor's office, the auditor to conduct final transfers of transactions to clean up excess in funds, basically. For a clean year end. I think at least last year, maybe prior to, we asked in January for a report on that. It's transferred and done, but they need the authority to get that done by the end of the calendar year.
Yes, we will provide that list. Hopefully, if we can get it done, the list, if we have everything done and the list by January, otherwise you will get it in February. I can't remember what year we gave, when we gave it to you last year, but if we have all the transfers done, we can let you know too. I don't know where you guys are gonna wanna go with the transfer of the rainy day, but we'll put numbers together and give them to you. And if you guys want us to change that, we can always do that also.
What is the limit for that? Because it was different my first couple of years, right?
It's 10%.
Used to be, they allowed 15 for a while.
Just for
Yeah,
short
there
period
was a
of
short
time.
period of time.
Years.
Yeah, it's back down to 10%.
Okay.
Separate.
I would be fine with both of those resolutions being the same motion if it's unanimous.
I would move to approve both resolutions, the rainy day transfer funds and the inter-fund transfers by the auditor.
Eric, Christine. Good. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6. Six and seven. 6 and 7. One motion for both. While the auditor is catching up here, resolution 12-2025-04 is resolution of the council approving the purchase of real estate lot is listed. Basically letting the commissioners move forward with the transaction, and then today, when you got here on your desk, is a copy of the agreement to purchase the real estate, which, in my understanding, has already been done.
We didn't know something about that before it happened.
Why didn't we?
Why did
I know that they acted very quickly on it, so they didn't lose the opportunity. But I know in our last meeting, it was already on market and being discussed and an offer being shot. But I don't think in time to get anything advertised for our last meeting.
why didn't we talk about it at the end when Will talked to us and you asked about what was coming?
Didn't have time to advertise much on it. Anything on that.
But we didn't have to talk about amounts. We talked about things that are coming and things that are doing and a potential of this or a potential of that. We talked in hypotheticals.
Well, I do understand from a commissioner's standpoint. You know, it's like utilities trying to, have land acquisition rights to run utilities through. You don't want to be too vocal about that because it could cost you more money. Yeah, I agree with that.
Talking to one last night too, yeah, it wasn't a keep our heads out of the loop kind of a thing. It was this happened. It was already later than wanted, like.
But were
what
there
came first, the chicken or the
comparisons
egg?
done
Yeah,
as to
so-
what that lot was actually
Yeah,
Right.
really worth? I mean, if you say it was sold for what, one?
It was 110 in 2018 is what they bought it for, because I took
So
this. and
7 years later, it's tripled?
I hate to tell you that, but the market
Yeah,
actually
it has.
Wow, I wish I owned property in Angola.
it's gone absolutely.
You'd be amazed out through the county though, how much.
But I just purchased this year closer to trying, which is even going faster. And it had went up by a lot, but not times 3.
Well, this is over since 2018 though. This is 7 years you're talking about. the market's doubled,
What account did it come out of?
Bond,
the excess bond funds.
excess bond funds.
Yeah, they had,
So
So
that's
it's
why,
long-term finance, that's why it went
that's
around
why
us.
it went
We had
around
already
us.
approved the funds. And to answer your question, they did full comps and had appraisals, and went through the whole process.
And this is going to be used for parking lot.
It's just for potential future needs for the county because it's a contiguous property. I think they have a longer term plan of handling the situation with corrections building and just thinking they might need space for however it gets designed the best, I guess.
We're gonna pay, there's only one piece of property that isn't ours now, right? So
Right.
we're gonna pay through the nose.
I was just thinking that myself.
I told them.
Price of that property just went up.
Same time right now, it's not listed.
That
Even if you didn't get the other property, you still have a contiguous property. And today's numbers, that is like crazy high for that, but 10 years from now, you'll be glad you got it for that.
I'd agree with you. It's not coming down.
But all that thinking is just in my head, because it's not my authority to weigh in on it, it's the commissioner's decision.
Except now we've had 2 instances in the same meeting where we were kept out of a decision that came down to cash.
Yes.
That's my biggest issue with that. Not that we mind that it's done, but not to know anything about it. That's kind of saying spend what you want. We gotta come up with it somewhere.
Yeah.
Next year's gonna get uglier.
So anyway. I know I'll be having future discussions with them about council's discomfort with that.
What happens if the resolution didn't pass? What does that do, Kelly?
Just this without this. They can't close. Let me rephrase that. They have everything set, but they can't close. They're waiting on this final document to close. It is a resolution, it's not an ordinance, so it does only require 1 reading.
I believe that it's being it's already done, we don't have a lot of choice, but I think we also have to let them know how we feel about not knowing anything. But again, they don't want to say it in public meeting either. I get that. We could have got an email to each one of us. Because in a public meeting, somebody else says, oh, this is for sale for that. We're gonna buy it and turn around. So I get that. You know, make some money on it, but it would have been nice just to have a little bit of a heads up on it.
I think they've been really good about if you call them and ask them. You know, it's not like they're not sharing information or keeping cards close to their chest. They'll talk to you about it, but
But if you have no clue that it's going on.
we're expecting an approach of just let us know about it. We shouldn't have to ask you about it, right?
No, I had no idea either until. Oh, you all got my text.
Okay, so do we have a motion for item 8, resolution 12-025-04?
I'll make the motion.
Sure. Does that motion have a second?
I'll second it.
Further comments, questions, discussion?
I would say the caveat to that motion is because I think it's the best thing for the county. Not that I agree with how it was done.
I don't agree with how it was done, but it was done, and we need to do it as a county.
think we're all pretty much in agreement with that.
I just had my thoughts on it, where out of excess bond funds was definitely a council discussion. It could be using that to buy down interest and, you know, do other things, so.
We still don't have a picture of exactly what the next 2 years are gonna look like.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. 3-3.
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. There you go.
It's up.
I don't know how to do with that.
The only thing I can think is there's nothing specific in this, like it's not like we can make another motion to a different dollar amount.
I don't know that it's necessarily about the dollar amount, but the way we
I have to call, honestly, I have to call state board. I don't know what to do with it.
Who owns that property?
Jeff Miller. We're trying to figure out if I need who he was.
Well, if this is gonna really mess things up in the county, I would ask them to go the other direction.
Anything about this?
That's on this.
Yeah, I think it needs to be done, but I think they need to know how they feel about it. I think that's, I mean, we're in a position now where the offer's been made. I mean, the deal's pretty well done. It's just us.
Yeah.
Money. And I think
I can.
somewhere there, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
somewhere there has to be parameters. They can't spend all the money they want to, and then we gotta come up with it.
That's the whole point of the challenge.
Yes, and
That comment was made to me that we can spend what we want. You just gotta figure out how to come up with it. I'm not gonna say where it comes from, but I don't like that. I
No,
don't like that
That's not how this works.
No.
Once you're-
whatsoever, but that's,
it's
Put it in there.
absolutely not how
I
it's
got
designed.
that.
You're sending us no, making it a yes vote.
what White House said, acceptable. More derogatory than that, but I'm not gonna say that in this meeting.
Okay, so I've got that. But I can also, I don't know if this is legal, I'm gonna talk to State Board of Accounts anyway, stating that due to a tie, can we take another vote? Erin, do you know? I was gonna ask you if you've ever had this situation.
Never.
As state board of accounts, because otherwise
Okay.
I will, the state board of accounts approve. Reflect that will change my vote.
Okay.
The only other thing I can think of is, I know it's a lower board, but with the planning commission, they had the missing member come in and listen to the discussion and then cast a vote. That was
Bruce,
easy.
it's out there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So that might be a cleaner, easier way, is to have her listen
Good
and
suggestion.
Yes, you know, you could go either way. But if Ruth was to say no,
I don't know, because this deals with. It's very short and sweet.
These are the other two resolutions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Laura.
over here.
I get it back.
So basically, we would just tell them they can proceed with the purchase. What does it say?
Okay, I see what it said. I can reach out to Ruth, or you can reach out to Ruth.
So do my yays want to sign it? Or you want me to wait? Will you guys be able to come back in and sign
Yes.
when I call you?
Yes.
When are you leaving, Bill?
not to the end of the year.
You can have your yays.
I think Renee needs to sign.
I probably should sign it because
I'll have the yays sign it. Are you leaving?
I just don't want to get back to Angola.
Okay.
All right,
So I had Bill, Eric, and Renee for yes.
next on agenda number 9 is the Economic Development Corporation Agreement for Services that it holds with Steuben County. Steuben County. The dollar amount that cost for fee for service to be the same as it was in the budget. So this is just formalizing the agreement between the county EDC. And then we have our appointment. Some positions, our January meetings, but the EDC corporation needs theirs done in December for the council liaison. Yes. So let's take those separately. And it could, would care to make a motion to.
I make a motion to approve the agreement for services with the EDC for 2026.
I'll second that.
Yes, but no.
Any comments?
He's a good guy.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. 6. Okay. As far as the EDC appointment goes, just said, does anybody care to learn about that and serve on the board? I've done it forever, except for 1 year. Bill Harder wanted to do it, and it was a really tricky time because there was a lot of term out of the executive committee on the EDC board, and I was one of those as well. So stepping Bill in, he wouldn't be on the executive committee year 1. Anyway, they made it through all of that difficulty. So whatever we decide, whoever that appointment is, the EDC would be perfectly fine with. And I'm happy to answer any questions about what serving on the board looks like.
Your meetings are during the day though, right?
The meetings are on the Tuesday following our council meeting at 3:30. Usually kept to an hour. And then obviously you're asked to be on one of the committees, the several committees. I serve on the finance committee. I have forever, and that's always on the day of our council meeting at 1 p.m. Except for this month, because I'm going to change it because of the gaming commission. There's been a lot of so many things over 15 years that organization's gone through that required unbelievable amount of time. From first acquiring the land down there and working in the one building and then building workforce development down there, and changing buildings, selling the EDC, doing the deal for the new building, and working with the NIPSCO issue and working, it's just, there was task force, and it's been extremely time consuming. It's really ironed out there. There's not a lot of change. Things are all clicking as normal. I just went through major strategic planning a year and a half ago. It shouldn't be a lot outside of the regular meeting.
Are they, can they be virtual?
They have in their bylaws that you can attend, I believe, 3 virtually a year, but you can't miss more than 2 total for the year.
I think it's the first time we have everybody on just name.
Yeah, that'd be something different.
Okay. Anybody like to make a motion to nominate somebody?
I'll nominate Eric.
I'll second that.
Okay, done.
Any comments, questions, any other nominations? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. 6.
Yeah.
Congratulations, I think you'll actually find it really, it really integrates with the work that the commissioners do. So it's gonna be very interesting for you, you'll like it.
Thank you.
You'll like it, yeah, you'll be good at it. Anybody on this council would be good at it because we touch these same things that they deal with all the time. Okay, item 10, review of recorder's sworn statement. Print my name or?
Oh, you can print it. Either one.
I just didn't remember this. Is this something that she does? I could not remember, Danny. Is this something that you do every year at the end of the year?
Of the year, it is by IC code through the state board. It projects what monies I do have, how I'm going to do it, that there's no problem, that I'm going to ask.
I read it, I was like, is she asking us to spend her money? And she's spending all her money?
No. That's
Seemed
very
out
much-
of character for you.
So I
But it
don't
was
think we
late.
need to make a motion on this. We just need to state, or maybe a motion we reviewed it.
I would say, yes.
I'll make a motion that we reviewed the Recorder's Perpetuation Fund sworn statement.
Good.
I will second it.
Lisa and Christine.
I'm so happy I didn't have that.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. 6. Okay. Down to your correspondence reports. The Dr. Larry Brewer. Well, if you haven't been through those slides, please go through those slides. They're really, really informational, really well done. If you haven't listened to him do it in person, you can go out online and go through those slides with him doing the presentation. He is so entertaining to listen to. It's well worth your time. You'll very much be glad you did it. He just presents it in a funny way, but a factual way. It's interesting though that a lot of this is going to change. So I think it's important that we know what they put on us, and then we'll understand better the changes that they're making if we understand what the impact is going to be to us. So that's a really important email I came on the 12th of November. And then Brett Hayes provided community corrections month-end report. Rodney provided the coroner's office report.
All of them.
All of them, yeah. And then you got notification on West Gilbert's retirement party, Soil and Water Conservation District Board minutes. The email that you got that we discussed earlier about the 2026 salary ordinance with Exhibit A for review. The transfer of biweekly claims. And November health claims. And turning points report. Item number 9. So we table the year-end update from the commissioners. Handled up the highway SOP. Handled up the second and third readings. Anything else I have? This legislative conference that was in the mailbox, please let the auditor's office know. If you can attend it, what days you can attend. I don't know how important that is.
Oh, it's huge. And this Friday is the last one of this year, the ICCA legislative meeting. If anybody wants to attend,
That
I can.
email just came out yesterday or something, right? They're gonna call on.
Yes, yes, because committee meetings are happening.
Yeah.
Bills are being written.
Do we know what, time the conference actually starts on Tuesday?
I think it's in the morning.
It starts in the afternoon, but there is always a morning session of something. So whether that's relevant to something we do in council or not. There's always like a 9 a.m. to noon.
It's
it's a
usually an
board meeting.
AIC,
AIC board.
no,
2 years ago, it was Jen that was the.
What we're gonna
presentation
look
all about
for.
the funding.
classes that we take,
Remember
excellence,
we went to it?
Institute for Excellence class is normally from like 9 to noon, the day before.
So if your Tuesday morning is open, it's also a really good time to get into the State House. And pre-scheduled time with legislation.
I was thinking if I came back and just went for Tuesday, Wednesday, could I get down there Tuesday morning in time?
Yeah.
Yes. And we go around and we might remember
Whoa, that
Danny
was
took us
fun,
into
yes.
all those rooms and we
Yes.
talked to all those people. We were like,
Maybe
We
we get
matter.
appointments set up to talk to.
Yeah, we'll, in our January meeting, maybe in our January meeting, we can talk about who we can get in front of that's most relevant to what we heard about. I know last year was thinking about PD office,
Yeah.
so
this year.
staying in their ear about making sure that program continues more than 2 years would be very important.
Right. Do we have a list of who's on the gaming committee?
Get it?
That would be a big one. And then whoever is going to relook at SB1, any of them, I would be willing to talk to.
When is that decision
Any
gonna
and
come
every.
around for that?
Soon.
Like before the end of the year?
No,
or
I guess early though, January or so.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I missed it.
when they're gonna decide who gets the casino?
It's funny because when Allen County posted about wanting it and DeKalb County posted about wanting it on social media stuff, I would say 80% of the responses from the public were very positive in favor of getting it. But I think it's really important that we hear the constituents now early in the process and talk to them about the facts that we can gather in the meantime. Some people will just make an emotional response and some people will make a factual response.
Sure. But didn't Tony say that DeKalb now has backed out of not wanting it because of their horse racing?
Well, that's Fort Wayne.
Oh, Fort Wayne.
Yeah, horse racing in Fort Wayne is
Okay,
our card for them.
Yeah, they don't want, it's too close to Anderson.
okay.
But I think there's a legislator that has a big hunk of that helped kill it in New Haven. I don't think it'll happen in DeKalb. I think it'll be Allen County or us.
From a geographic standpoint, would make the most sense for them.
I told Christina, I think they
The only
should
other-
take that outlet mall that's a ghost town. There's hardly any stores left there. And bulldoze it.
Isn't there still a decision being made though on moving the license from the Rising Sun versus a new license? Because I was doing some reading on that Rising Sun, like they operate 50% firekeepers. So that seems weird to me that they would want something that close.
That close. Yes,
To
exactly.
firekeepers.
That is really close too.
I had no idea that we looked them up the other night and there's a number of places around the country, but they're 50% in on firekeepers.
And that's less than, that's only like, what, 45 miles from Angola?
Not even,
Fire keepers, yeah.
About that.
Look how close they're clustered over.
Yeah, but yeah, you've got on same
Yeah, when I
property.
looked them up over there by Lake, there's
Yeah, you got two of them.
But there's a lot of population.
there is a ton of population.
You got a lot of space between Toledo and South Bend.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the Hollywood.
Well,
Mile.
crossroads, right? So
Right, you're right.
people
Crossroads.
traveling aren't gonna drive fire keepers probably, but I just thought that was interesting.
And I think, we've got a lot of tourism here in the county, but I'm a firm believer that we need some more things that, other than just the lakes, for people to do. I mean, that's what's gonna draw people in here.
That's your year-round attraction.
I mean, June has a beautiful line. I wish I could remember about the fact that strategically we're such a beautifully placed and unique. We could give a unique casino experience
Yeah.
because of our existing tourism that's already here. That we provide something very different than an urban setting.
Right.
We
I
do,
agree.
and it would help us.
Downtown Marshall has grown quite a bit just from firekeepers being in proximity.
Has anybody been up and seen their new interchange there?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, we go through there all the time. I mean, it's like unbelievable what it's gonna do to their area.
Yeah.
With that new battery plant that they put in there. That's gonna explode right there.
What are you saying?
I was gonna ask if we were gonna get feedback from Kelly as to what state board says about the tie vote.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not gonna bother Ruth today, obviously, but when she's recovering, maybe tomorrow send her a message and see.
I did send her a message this morning. All I said was thinking of you today. Hugs.
Yeah, I had no idea it was happening. I feel bad.
Let's get this in the rearview mirror, right? Need our Ruth back. Okay, anything else coming before council?
The only thing I have is the legislative and the salary ordinance is done. I have Dan, and you said you've already looked through Abby, right? Christina has looked through Abby, correct?
Yep.
And I have Eric wanting to look
Yep, I have not.
for Monday, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll get with Abby.
Okay, thank you.
And you won't be here, Renee's a no. And I know Ruth is a no, Bill is a no.
I'm gonna try, but I'll be coming down Tuesday.
One of the things I was gonna take a swing at is last year, we were Governor Brunt's first Hoosier huddle. And I wanna see if Mary Martin can get us in as a regroup on the item we discussed and get them the Hoosier huddle.
Barring any weather, I can be down there whatever time on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then spend the night for the Wednesday class or just the Tuesday
Yeah,
stuff?
stay then,
Tuesday and Wednesday then?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
A girl in one of my leader classes, my leader class that works in Ron's office, if you want me to make
Yeah.
a connection
Oh,
there too.
any connection with that helps, yeah.
I will try.
Be real interesting to see what they come out of session as far as tweaks. They were saying, oh, there's gonna be little tweaks, and now the last thing I heard a week or so ago was there's gonna be some big tweaks. And they're mostly surrounding the things that I think I mentioned to this council a couple of meetings ago. Like about the fact that when you bond debt against property taxes, you're seriously impacting your risk rating. We had a meeting with Daniel Elliott here last month. I asked him about this thing. He said it is a massive issue. And he chairs that board, and so he said he's really working on the governor to understand that, the problem with that.
Can you explain it to me again?
So if you buy a bond, whoever the organization is that buys the bond is buying it based on what its source of repayment is. Whether it's bonded against income taxes or property taxes or a blend of different resources. And so you're understanding your risk rating based on historical ability for that municipality to issue that bond based on those taxes. If all of a sudden you take revenue away from that category, you see that bond as a much higher risk. So if our property, if we needed X number of dollars out of our property taxes to service that debt, and we have less money in our property tax pool.
Then it makes
Where's
that,
it coming from?
that
Yeah.
debt to, kind of like what you do with your own, with the debt to income ratio.
Well, it's more cash flow, how it's cash flow collateralized. It's making our debt to income lower because our income is the property tax piece of the income, but they're just concerned about cash flow because everything else that we pay for out of property taxes does it take a back seat now to the bond debt? Do we pay it first, or do we pay the other bills we have to pay and then potentially default on some of the bond debt?
Oh, geez.
I mean, it's just, they didn't, I don't think they put any provisions, I don't say they didn't think about it, but they didn't put any provisions in there for how all these municipalities have debt obligations and different things, and we've always been, that's been our mechanism, because we're a low income tax county.
Which is 96% of the counties in Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I mean, there's a small handful that are high on income taxes and high on property taxes.
Oh,
Yeah,
and they're the ones that are growing.
I talked to Lisa about it too. Be careful what they say, because it was the governor's initiative, but they understand what's happening to us.
But aren't we the fifth cheapest county cost of living in the state?
We're the seventh lowest tax rate now.
Seventh, so. I don't know. I think, I look at what my daughter pays over in Maumee, Ohio, property taxes. We pay nothing here comparatively,
Oh,
so they're,
go any of them. Go to Illinois, go to Michigan.
Yeah,
You
so
pay
there's-
double.
This
so
is the
they're
perfect
saying
storm
that,
of two things that happened, Lisa. One, post-COVID, property values.
sure,
Post-COVID property values a lot. And I call legislating to that a knee-jerk reaction, because it's gonna normalize it.
mm-hmm,
And then the second thing was all the school referendums down there, and the donor counties, they all had to have coolest football field and everything else, stadiums for everything else that the neighboring communities had to get the kids to come to that school. So they referendumed like crazy, and that's driving up their property taxes, and that shouldn't be a statewide problem.
mm-mm.
It's really hard when you told, I know you've done a good job, but you're in the classroom with people who haven't been behaving, and so the whole class has to be punished. But people see there.
Mhm.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in the gaming commission, so we might as well open presents, right?